a free-to-play FPS with loads of potential, championed by many like Summit 1G, XQC, and even the two-time.
You're playing.
A game that I, along with many, have sunk countless hours into, has announced that it's no longer financially viable and will be shutting down, with rumors now leading us to believe that they're reallocating resources from their failed game towards something much bigger. This is the Cycle Frontier. But what happened? How can a game with so much potential fall flat less than a year into its launch? And what are they doing with all these assets? Being one of the original streamers in the Cycle Frontier's partnered creator program and watching it at its best as well as at its lowest, there were several factors, some obvious and some not so much, that contributed to its decline and where it's headed now. And hey, I know that none of you watching this are filthy hobgoblins scouring the old PH for BBW toes and Genki, but just in case you have any friends that do, with everything going on in the world from the Ukraine to Aiden Ross, the government has increased their surveillance. In most countries, this includes your internet activity. So if you don't want to be caught with your pants down, literally,
I said don't disturb you, I'm cleaning my room!
One of the best ways to keep your online browsing activity private is by using ExpressVPN. When you use ExpressVPN on your phone, your computer, or your alone time tablet, your internet connection is rerouted through a secure encrypted server, so you can surf the web more anonymously without anyone looking over your shoulder. I don't know who told you that if you use incognito mode, no one can see that you've watched every last Fudanari video on X videos, but they're wrong. Even when you use incognito mode, your internet provider like Verizon, AT&T, they can still see every website that you visit. If you live on campus or share Wi-Fi, your network admin can too. And let's be honest, your RA will tell everyone. That's why I use ExpressVPN whenever I go online, and you should too. Go to expressvpn.com/player2 to get an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN free. Now, the Cycle Frontier launched as a free-to-play extraction looter shooter developed by indie team Jaeger Development to rival the genre leaders at the time of Escape from Tarkov and Hunt Showdown. It offered a more casual-friendly sci-fi approach to the gameplay loop of drop in, loot for items and better gear while encountering enemy players and alien creatures, before making it to an extraction and riding that dropship up with everything that you've obtained, back to the space station to barter with traders, accept and turn in new missions, craft gear and equipment, as well as upgrade your player's quarters that gives the character benefits with each level. Similar in some aspects to Escape from Tarkov's Hideout, this offered the players several avenues of progression to keep you engaged outside of just PvP encounters. But at launch, in June of last year, a major problem began to arise that plagues most online PvP games: cheaters. And they were rampant.
He's up top, he might be cheating. He's up top
somewhere.
I can't even see him.
You want me to peek him?
I'm dead. Yeah, 2 shots.
Is he cheating? Stand before
Oh, he's in the sky again. He's in the sky, he's in the sky.
Now, Call of Duty has cheaters, Battlefield has cheaters, shit, Fortnite has cheaters, even though that's not what keeps me from playing. But getting killed by a cheater in the Cycle Frontier is immensely more devastating. In most popular online PvP games, you get pissed, but then you just hop into a new match without really losing anything. In the Cycle, if you die, just like in Hunt and Tarkov, you lose everything, all the weapons and gear that you came in with and anything that you looted along the way. So a weapon or a gear set that could have potentially taken hours to build or buy is erased in seconds. Not because you got outplayed, but from a cheater that shouldn't have been there in the first place. Now think, if this is consistently delaying your progress through no fault of your own skill, what are you gonna do? It's a free-to-play game, so you spent nothing to be here. You really have no incentive to stay. Like when Escape from Tarkov, let's say, has a cheating problem, you spent 45 bucks, or maybe even upwards of $100 for more content. You're a lot less likely to just up and drop something that you spent $100 on. Even if the Cycle had in-game purchasable bundles, which was the only form of monetization that they could have made from this game, I doubt the average player even came close to spending $45 on that stuff. So in less than 2 months of going live, the Cycle went from 27,000 average players to around 5. The mostly unchecked cheating problem was probably a main culprit of that. Now, having done several interviews with the Cycle devs myself, later on they were able to add an anti-cheat team as well as cheater compensation packages in game that would return your items for you if the cheater had stole them when they were caught, which was a solid idea, but really too little too late. If they had that feature at launch, I think it would have definitely made a difference. Additionally, the MMR was as much much of a hot topic in the cycle as it has been with Call of Duty's SBMM. MMR stands for matchmaking rating. This is what determines who you're put into a session with. It's been changed multiple times, being based off of kills, how much loot you made it out with on average, how many successful extractions that you had in a row, and so on. But it was always a bit of a pain point for everyone in some way. If you were a solo, until they changed it, you were being dropped into matches with duos and trios. If you were a casual or a new player with starter weapons and gear, you could be placed in with no lives, with all the in-game items and knowledge that would wipe you to oblivion. And if you're the no-life Giga Chad sweat lord, wearing hash brown bags from McDonald's for socks, teeth looking like creek gravel, even when they got the MMR tweak to a good place, you would often be put into matches with cheaters because they were the only ones with a comparable rating to yours, which was further exacerbated because a couple of months into the cycle's release, most of the players who stuck around were the savage PvP sweats. So basically, you stayed the course, you dedicated hundreds of hours to this game, and your reward is cheaters taking your gear. It was probably a slap in the face to them, not me, because I'm a full-blown Timmy with terrible aim, prone to dying from fall damage, and any of you who ever watched me stream it, I'm sure you know that it's true. But regardless of where your skill was, that was the beauty of the cycle. You could be outmatched and outgunned when unpredictable things would happen, like an aggro from a creature to reveal a sneaky little hobgoblin trying to flank you from the side, or one of the enemy squad's guys, like me, would accidentally run off a cliff, or with how low the TTK was. You didn't always have to have the best aim to get a lucky kill on a player who's way above your skill level. It was a really good time. Unfortunately, this all just got overshadowed by the bugs, the cheaters, and other issues here and there. So as of now, the Cycle Frontier is set for a global shutdown of all servers on September 27, 2023. But there's been rumors that the cycle isn't done just yet and may be going through some type of metamorphosis, like a fucking butterfly, to change into something completely different. If you didn't know, the Cycle Frontier is actually the second iteration of the game. The first was just the Cycle, a 2019 Battle Royale title that ended up in, basically the same situation that the Cycle Frontier is in right now, shutting down servers as the game just simply died off. Jaeger then saw the potential of what games like Hunt and Tarkov were doing and decided to reuse the lore, many of the assets, and artistic style of the first game and revamp it into an extraction shooter, with Frontier added at the end of the name. And wouldn't you know it, I checked Jaeger Development's opening position section on their website and found this. They are currently looking for a talented and experienced producer with a passion for making some of the best games ever to join the talented team behind a new, huge MMO sci-fi IP project that Jaeger has recently joined in a co-development setting. So they could be doing it again? Here's what I think actually happened. I'd bet that Jaeger has known that they were going to shut down servers towards the end of 2023 for a while, but you can't do that without a plan. So make an entirely new game, new concepts, assets, design, and all of that, or do what I say would already have been a successful relaunch of their game again, just with a new title and now under the MMO genre. If this, of course, is the case, it's likely we're not going to see anything or hear anything about this in public for a while. But I'd have to imagine it would look something like the Destiny series maybe, but as soon as I get more info, I will keep you guys updated. In the meantime, where for each one of him that falls, two will arise. Guess what that's from? Bungie's Marathon and the Division Heartland are primed to step up to the plate over this next year as the first dedicated AAA extraction shooters. But there can be only one, another quote for you, one that trumps the rest. Let's talk about that. See you there. Well, go on. I can't go anywhere. I'm stuck in like a limbo state. You don't understand what this is. This part of the video. I'm stuck here till you click on that. So just go do it or get off YouTube. I don't know what to tell you. Just click it.